This is the video review for Power Rangers. Actually, it's not Power Rangers, it's Boukenger. Super Daibouken. And it's one of those things that this review is brought to you mostly in part by Vangelis's weird ability to make people spend money. Because he's really good at it, apparently. I know Nemesis Predaking and some other people have mentioned to me their issues with Vangelis and his ability to get people to spend money. And this all came about, like, I've been looking at these for a while. I kept meaning to get a bunch of Zords. I went Zord crazy this past week. But I was hanging out with Vangelis on his Ustream the other day, and he specifically mentioned, like, talking about toys, and he's like, "Oh, I really liked Boukenger," and I didn't really, other people, thought I was the only person who did, and I went to this forum, and everybody else was like, no, seriously, we like it here too." And it reminded me that I'm like, oh yeah, I was going to look and see, I was trying to get Ultimate Daibouken, the big combiner one, and this is not quite him yet, but he's coming. And of course, I found all of them, like, for the first time on eBay, I found all of them. And not only did I find the regular version, but I found the special, for the first time in like years, I've been looking. I found the special black and gold version, which is all 10 of the vehicles in a matching black and gold, kind of like this, but a little bit shinier gold, and all black and gold, like all the vehicles, and it looks really awesome. So now I have two versions of this guy, the full color version, the black and gold version coming. I've also got a Boukenger from Magic Ranger. I've got, on the way, I've got the Goraijin Megazord, which if you watched Power Rangers Ninja Storm here in the US, it was the Thunder Power Zord, the one that's the two Beetles that hook together. I've got another SWAT Deca Wing coming, and I've got one other one coming, and I can't remember what it is. I'm trying to find a Daibouken, but all that's on there right now is Candy Toy Daibouken, so whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of Zords soon. But anyway, I got this one. That's enough of a rant about that. And then this right here is the regular Daibouken. This is just the main 5 Zords, or vehicles, or whatever you want to call them. There's the blue little flyer ship guy, the pink submarine. Oh God, I just realized what I just said there. But anyway, I didn't think about it. But the pink submarine, little yellow scooper tank with the guns on top, and like a little black race car. It looks like. And vehicle mode, like, this is pretty much all there is to it. There's the dump truck. He does have the articulations to dump if you want that. And he, in and of itself, that's pretty cool. But what's really neat is before we even get to Megazord mode, you can take these wheels, slide them back, flip this piece up, snap this piece right on here on top, the blue goes onto the black Zord, flip it down, leave that alone. Take this, flip it, not like that, fold these claws up, fold it in half, just like that, and then it pegs in right in here. I'll leave this attached. And then take this, turn the turret around, flip this piece up, and then it pegs in right in here. So now you've got like some weapons up here on the thing. Lift up this piece, flip it up, and flip that piece out, and then snap it back in. And then this piece snaps right on under here. And now you've got almost like a little semi-main like roller vehicle with a little cab. And so before you even get to the combined Zord mode, you've got like a really cool combined vehicle mode. And I think that's really neat. It's not like Voyager of Ultron or anything that has like a giant battle tank configuration, but it is a neat combined vehicle mode. And that seems to be kind of the case with a lot of them. I know Voyager is like a bunch of little vehicles that can combine to form like a giant Land Cruiser and then also combine to form the Zord. Which is part of the reason I want him, and he's huge. But, so there's the combined vehicle mode, which is also just really... Daibouken is the jet. There's a name for this, and I can't remember what it is. So, apologies for that. And then you just take them apart and flip this piece back in. You can actually pretty much, if you want to just turn this turret around, you can kind of go ahead and just leave these in for Megazord mode. But you take these two weapons off of here, the shovel and that, and then you take the red Zord, and you just want to flip these pieces down. Actually, no, you don't want to leave these in for this mode. We'll put them back there later. You'll see. Flip these pieces in like this. Then open up these and flip out the shin guards here, what will be the shin guards. Just like that. When I move, you move, and then split the legs apart like that. And then come up here. You want to take this piece, unhook this, and then flip this whole piece around into the back. Turn his head around, but flip this onto the back, and then collapse this piece. And there's like kind of a stubby square head revealed there, and we'll get into more of that later. The sub, you flip the clips out to the side, and then collapse that, and there you can see the fist. It snaps on right there. And over here, you want to unfold this. How do I do this? There we go. There we go. I generally can put the scoop up like that. It kind of mirrors the shoulder that these claws do. But you flip that up and then flip out the fist over here. And snap that on. Like that. Dun 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 dun. And now we pull this off. Pull off the back of the jet. Rotate these pieces up. And that is his helmet for this mode. Dun dun dun. And then this piece just kind of snaps on back here. Is it like this? How does it snap on? Yeah, there we go. This piece just, the blue Zord snaps onto the back. And then this piece, now that once you've got it, if you haven't already transformed it, you do the same thing for cab mode. You just slide this down and flip that piece down. Then he pegs on to form the chest panel. And there is just regular Daibouken. And he's pretty cool. You can take this weapon and flip it around, and he can hold it as a pickaxe. And he can hold this as like a shovel or a sword. You know, they're kind of recovering treasure and all that stuff. And you've got that. Or you can also flip this piece up, and these two pieces the tips of these will snap in here and give him one giant sword like that. Not a lot of articulation in this one. Like most swords, I mean, there's no... I mean, kind of get some elbows if you want to unhinge them there. But you know, they've got the ratcheting joints there. There's some swivel here, ratcheting joints here, as well as the knee. So you can get some posing, but I mean, just the weight and everything makes it a little awkward to have them in anything but a standing position. Which is not the end of the world. But on top of that, I did say this is Super Daibouken and not regular Daibouken. That comes with four ancillary vehicles. There's Mixer here. I don't know what their names are. There's number 8 Mixer, number 6 Driller, number 7 Scooper. He's a big like crane arm here. And number 9 Phil. And they all can attach to the main Zord as arms. Various powered arms. Like you can put him on just like this as a scooper arm. Yeah, there we go. And they can go on either side. I'm just showing them off on this one side since it's easier. The driller you can attach right here, and you can spin the dial back here to make it. And what's cool is like these interior drills spin independently of the main drill. So this one, the big one spins, and then the smaller drills also spin on top of that. So you really get a cool little drill action there. And like I said, there's a thing up here. So there's that. Mixer, actually, you fold this piece all the way around like this, and when you push this, we push this. Is it this button? No. Oh, you push back here. It opens up into a little like blaster claw hand, and there's a gear here that you can spin it with. So you can attach him on as an arm, and he's got a giant spinny blaster arm. And then like I said, this guy also can attach as an arm. And his gimmick is you can shoot this hook out, and then you can wind it back up like that. And you'll also notice he's got a hinge right here. You can also use this as a hook configuration when it combines with the jet. But since we don't have the jet, I'll show that off in a later video, because the jet also combines with everything to make a giant robot. And speaking of giant robots, here's where we're going to get into the other part I was telling you about earlier. Take these vehicles and fold them back up, the two-arm vehicles, fold them back up the way they were. Like that. Turn this whole thing around. This guy you want to pull off and attach back here, or pull off the helmet. Turn the head around and pull off the helmet. Slide the helmet back into the jet, just like this. And then you're going to leave this the way it is, and you're going to reattach him back in the back, just like he was attached in the cab mode. Just hook him on like that. Turn him around. Flip these feet right down here out. And we're going to take these two guys, and we're going to plug them right back in here like they were plugged in the combined vehicle mode. Except we're going to turn the guns around so they're not poking into this thing. Just like that. Now, come up here, and we're going to attach the crane arm over here, and you can't open up his arm. You kind of have a hand there, and you can flip this. If you want to, you can flip this all the way up to shorten it, but you don't want it that short. But you know, you can control the arm there. Attach the driller over here. And we're getting there. These you can, he can't really hold these in this mode, so the weapons you can just, if you want, you can reattach them back to the legs on the side of the truck where they were originally stored. Yeah, just like that. And that one doesn't fit, but we'll get into that later. And then you take the mixer truck, and you fold this whole thing back like this, and then slide it out. And then you take that, and you put the foot in and snap it on just like this. Hold on. Come on, snap on, foot. There we go. Snap that foot on. And then the crane, fill here, you want to pull this not the whole crane arm, just this piece. Pull this piece off. Line the crane back up. And then flip the back of the crane up like this, and do the same thing over here. Plug that in as a foot. And then you take this piece, fold the horns to the side, and that plugs in to become his new helmet. And there is Super Daibouken. And there he is, all combined. And again, he's got the same articulation as he did before. I mean, a little bit more limited just because of the big feet, but nothing really changes. He doesn't gain superposability or anything like that. But some neat stuff, and he looks even cooler when the jet comes. When the jet comes, I'll do a review of the jet and combine him, and that's really cool. And also, with the jet, you can have regular Daibouken by himself, and then these 4 extra drones can attach to the jet to make a second Zord, which is called Daibouken. And like I said, he basically the jet body with these with the mixer, the crane, the scoop, and the drill all together to form a different Zord. You can have them, and they combine all together to form a giant 10 Zord robot with the jet. So, yeah, very cool. I'm looking forward to the Go-Go Jet coming here. I'm also looking forward to getting the black version, like I said, which is the same figure, it's just all in black and shiny gold paint. And a bunch of other Zords. So there'll still be some Transformers coming. There's some new sponsorships on the way that you'll start seeing soon from some product dealers. And yeah, I'm gonna have some cool products coming. Probably early looks at some really cool third-party stuff coming out soon. Thanks to a couple of guys who got in touch with me, so we'll see how that works out. But anyway, there it is, Super Daibouken, and with more to come. And there'll still be more Transformers. I haven't given up on Transformers, but there are going to be some Zords coming soon. So anyway, there it is, Super Daibouken.